people get emotional when they lose some part, or they lose their training ability, or being able to do what they used to do, either in the weight room, running, playing a sport or something. What have you seen basically on that page? Like, how often is it someone that's so specific trying to get back to where they are? And you can even talk personal experience, or maybe reason why you get into it being a football player, but what do you typically see with people? Is it like, hey, I have this small acute injury that is manageable, but I'm just looking to get better? Or do you see people that are fully almost hindered and they really need to get back? Like, what realm do you see yourself?
Yeah, a little bit of both, really. I get both ends of the spectrum. I think when I actually tore my Achilles, that took away my identity. And I did this about 3 years ago, actually, just when I started opening.
Oh, wow.
I tore my Achilles. Yeah. And then it did take away my identity for a little while, because so much of me was that physical, get into the gym, do this, and it controlled a lot of my life. I played football my entire life, and I wasn't able to do those sort of things. And so it really was frustrating mentally, because I couldn't get back to those sort of things. It kind of took away my identity. So I see a lot of clients who are like that, who it took away their identity, that injury or whatever it may be, or they're not able to do the things that they once were able to do. I've seen people after a car accident not being able to walk, to people who are used to play pickleball 4 or 5 times a week, and now they can't. And how can we get them back to doing that? To people who need to just modify some things in the gym, and it's a quick fix. So a little bit of everything. And I think that it really does take away their identity, and you can see that frustration in the conversation. So I take most of my clients to first session. We're just sitting down, kind of sitting like this. On my chairs, pretty much aligned like this, because I want to sit there and talk to them and get to know why they are here. What's the real reason? Like, obviously pain, but what do you want to get back to? What's the why?
I did it myself, right, when I came by that day. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And you sit like that and you tell me what your story is, and they get really deep, because if you don't know why you want to get better or what you want to get back to, then it's going to make the work and the ups and downs of rehab and training that much harder to overcome if you don't know the why. You have to kind of find that northern star. And when we're uncovering things, people start to open up a little bit more and tell me why. And sometimes people get a little bit emotional about it, and nothing was wrong with that. And that means, okay, now we know that's the northern star. Let's address it and start moving towards that. And that way, when things get hard, they have that thing to guide them, because it's going to get hard. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Things are going to go really well, and things are going to go bad. And things are going to go like, hey, I'm almost there, and then you're going to have a little bit of a setback, and knowing that things are going to get there, and you got to keep working towards it. It really helps a lot.
It's hard, because I feel like going back to the mainstream cookie cutter model, right? A lot of people are given a certain cadence a week that they're going to be in there doing PT, some hands-on, some ice, stim, heat, basics, right? Oh, it's part of the shtick. Cool.
Yep.
Right.
Time
then
savers.
It's like how many of those people fall off?
Yeah.
Or how many of those people come in? It's just very, not to use the word cookie cutter again, but like, it's not emotionally attached to the person.
Right. There's a number there
sometimes.
sometimes.
It's not personal to the sense of, oh shit, I need to work on this or else this. It's more so like, I injured my ankle, I can't play, I want to get back to playing. Okay, go through these. Insurance only approved 13 sessions. We'll figure that out from there, and then we got to give you your exercises that you need to do at home. Could be 15 minutes of band work, but there's not really any knowledge facilitated. There's not a true walkthrough of like, well, now there's the PT realm, there's the on your own PT realm, and then this is the next, 50% that you need to do on your own in between being 100% and getting out of PT.
Right.
It's like PT might only get you 20, 30, 40, 50% of the way there in the old school model, where it's so cool seeing someone like you that takes the attention to detail, sits the person down, you grasp it. What is it? What do we need to target, and why do you need to target it?
Yeah.
And then you're literally in a gym.
Right.
You're in a gym
all the
space.
equipment we need. That's right.
So you walk right out, and you have racks, weights, dumbbells, kettlebells, and that was most of our thing. You did quick table tests and stuff for me, right? For the fibula, and I was like, hey, it's feeling this way. This is kind of what I want. This is where I'm at, and I'm going to play on it and use it and lift with it, but I feel these hindrances, right? And immediately we were out in the weight room. We were like, okay, strengthen it this way. Let's write some of these down. Let's feel it. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel?
Right.
And then maybe we progress, right? And it's all exercise-based, real change-based. Is that the majority of what you see works in the industry for yourself with that kind of hybrid, somewhat manipulatory, but then mostly training basis, because you're
Yeah,
essentially
definitely.
training somebody,
Yeah.
but on a little bit more of like a medical sense or medical
exactly.
level,
Yeah,
right?
and I would agree. I mean, I use my strength and conditioning certification more in my day-to-day than I do my physical therapy degree. Obviously, the background and extensive knowledge of PT helps a ton, but at some point, the change happens off the table. And I think having that background knowledge of physical therapy combined with strength and conditioning principles, that's the blend that we need to see, because all these people who come to see me, they've done the passive stuff. They've done the table exercises. They've done the passive hands-on massage, the manual therapy, and it only goes so far. Like you said, it gets you to the point where you're feeling a little bit better, pain's a little less, but okay, but how do we make the actual lasting change? And that's why I do most of my sessions at the beginning. First one, usually in the office, hands-on, use a table, talking a lot, and then we spend a little bit of time in the gym, depending on case. Obviously, you're a little bit more active, so we didn't really need to get on there with, hey, how can I meet you where you are, where your entry point is? And we found that quickly. And then as sessions go, I like to tell my clients, like, hey, listen, like in the beginning, 30% is going to be in the room and 70% is out there in the gym. That's why I chose to be in this space, because everyone kind of fell through the cracks, right? They weren't challenged enough to meet them where their goal was. And they already went to the route of traditional PT, and they're looking for something a little bit more. And it needs to be active. The change needs to be active. And I think that combining those principles and finding that why and giving them, when I give them homework on our app that we use, they're doing them because they're invested in it. They understand the why behind it. And of course, they're paying some decent money for it, but they also understand the why. And there's someone who is checking in on them and communicating with them regularly between our sessions. And then each time they come in, we reassess it, change that entry point. It's like you're peeling back, not to quote Shrek again for the third time today, but you're peeling back the layers of an onion. And each time you come in, you're essentially peeling back, and things start to uncover and unravel, and you say, okay, well, actually it's targeting this instead, and it's a little bit of trial and error, and we work together to do that. And that's why I ask so many questions throughout. It's not that, I want to see if things are working and you're getting better right now. It's to see, okay, do we have to go a different route, or do we keep pushing into this route? And that's why I always like to ask people, and I said, hey, how's that feel in this one? That way it gives me feedback to make that change and get you to the next level. And each time we're reassessing. We're not waiting until a progress note to give to the insurance company to move forward.